Alright, so last episode I took over newly promoted Sunderland in the Premier League, and my first order of business was improving this team massively in the transfer market. And the first signing was Aaron Ramsdale signing from relegated Southampton, also coming into the team to hopefully keep us afloat in the Prem. And the next signing was and I'll be linked to my role, so we brought him in, the Moroccan midfielder. And our last signing was Calvert-Lewin to our new number 9. We're going to make more signings in today's episode, but we then took on our first games of the season. The first one was our rivals in Newcastle. That would be in this game, as you can see, they got level back here with ease up, but it didn't matter in the end because late in the game here, we played a pass to Rig, a little bit later in the game, I should say, who scored dead to win us a game and pick up our first 3 points of the season up against our main rivals in Newcastle. And against Nottingham Forest there, we continued our winning ways of a goal from Calvert-Lewin early on. They got level, but late on, Mundo off the bench made it 2-1 and won us this game here with a great last-minute goal. And up against Brentford, it was more of a straightforward victory in this one. It was scoring 2 goals, fairly convincingly. Rig there as well to skip the challenge and find a fantastic finish there to make it 1-0. Then they're in again, Mundell again, scores a goal. Let's get into today's episode and make some massive transfers. And to start today's episode off, we've got 74 million left to spend here on deadline day on this team. So let's get into the transfer window. Let's buy some players to improve. There's already pretty good Sunderland team. So last episode, we brought in Calvert-Lewin, brought in also obviously Adanawi, and also Ronaldo came in a free deal from Atletico Madrid. We've got Ramsdale here as well, and also some great players to spawn on the bench, like young talents to sign, like Siddiqui, Tabi, and Diawara, who is being converted into a cam right now. Let's get into the transfer window, buy some players to improve this team, and hopefully continue our incredible starts of this series that we did do last episode. And returning to Sunderland for 4.8 million from Ajax is Jordan Henderson, a former Sunderland player, like I mentioned before. So he was a captain of Liverpool, had a stint in Saudi Arabia, and also played as well for Ajax recently. He's the former England player as well in the national team. Will be a great player for us to bring some experience and solidarity into the midfield and just kind of steady the ship for us this season as we develop younger talents behind it to take over next season. But Henderson signs for us here and will be our first midfielder alongside probably, I'm not sure who I'm going to start him alongside the midfield, but probably alongside Neil in the team. But Henderson returns to Sunderland to be a great player for us and our first signing of this episode. And signing from Sporting to be a first-team centre-back alongside O'Neill in the back line is Eduardo Quaresma, the Portuguese defender, 22 years of age, 77 rated. Their plan originally was to get Joe Gomez from Liverpool, their partner O'Neill in the back line, but unfortunately Liverpool don't want to sell Joe Gomez, so instead pivoted and went with Quaresma instead, who does have anticipated as a play style as well. He's a good young defender, 77 overall, fairly cheap for 14 million. The Portuguese defender signs for us here, the partner up alongside O'Neill and Ballard. In the defence, there should be a great defender for us in this team and can develop into an even better defender throughout the series. And signing from Chelsea for 11.5 million is a former multiple-time Premier League title winning and also the Champions League winning Raheem Sterling to play down the left wing for us. Chris Rigg does play there currently, but I think he's going to return more to the cam role and also play down the left. So Sterling will be a player that's kind of here for a short period of time whilst Mundo and Rigg etc. develop into the team and can take over in the future. And Sterling right now will be a player that can deliver in the big games for us right now and will be a great player for us in the team. We'll see formerly winning the Premier League with Man City quite a lot. Let's get him into this team and see what he can do here at Sunderland. Hopefully kind of revive his career. And another player you guys wanted to see join the team is Jadon Flunch from Ipswich. I believe that's how he pronounces his last name. The former Aston Villa winger, obviously played for Ipswich last season, who got relegated. So I feel like he could join the team like Sunderland, newly promoted to the Premier League. Will be getting game time here, so we'll be a backup to Raheem Sterling down the left. We also have Mundo here. We get a lot of game time in the second team. And Mundo, I do plan on loaning out for the season. If he can do so, then I will do so. I will loan him out so we can get game time elsewhere. But Jadon here joins us, and hopefully will be a great player in this team. And becoming our final signing here is Cameron Archer from Southampton, as a former Aston Villa striker, similar to Jadon Flunch. Obviously left Aston Villa to try and become a better player and get game time elsewhere. Got relegated with Southampton. Was a decent young talent, 22 years of age, 5'9", 74 rated, not too far behind Calvert-Lewin in the striker role, so he can push Calvert-Lewin to his best and also try to take over the first team position himself, as they also will fight for the first team striker role in this team. Will be a final signing of this window. So let's look at our new look team after all these signings we have made. Alright, so after making all the signings we have made this season, this is how we look going into the campaign. So we're starting now down the left and Rigg down the right. We look pretty good in the attack with Calvert-Lewin also up front. You guys all suggested that we do bring in Mason Mount for the camera. However, I did feel like bringing in Mason Mount would be a bit too much right now to do Enzo Lefay and also Diarra as cams in this team. So I don't want to change the team too much as Enzo Lefay only just recently signed for Sunderland as well. He's got a bunch of great players and plays great in games, so I don't want to replace him too soon. So Henderson also rejoining the team. Quaresma at centre-back, Ramsdale in goal. And Hume's still at right back. You guys did bring in Kyle Walker-Peters as another right back. We do also have Timothy Pembele here as well, the former PSG talent, who's a backup right back currently in the team. So I feel like bringing in more players would be a bit too much, as with Falange coming into the team as well. Mundo will be loaned out in January most likely, so he can get game time out on the back. Right now we're playing a lot of games in the second team and getting some chances in the first team here and there. So Cameron Archer joining the team as well is going to be a great backup striker to Calvert-Lewin and possibly take over in the first team in the near future, depending on how well he can perform, as the Adanawi will develop into a deep line playmaker and will take over for Jordan Henderson next season in this role here, as well as also whoever probably Siddiqui in the last CDM role if Neil doesn't really develop into the player that I wanted to be in this CDM role. He's been pretty good so far, but defense looking pretty decent. Let's get into our first game of the episode and hopefully continue, like I said earlier, our impressive performances so far this season. And our first game of today's episode will be against Manchester United here at home at the Stadium of Light. And hopefully we can get a great debut from some of our new players. I see we're starting into the team now. And also Henderson, Kretschmer into the team as well. Hopefully they can perform well in the first team. Let's get into this one and hopefully continue our unbeaten streak in the Premier League so far. So last episode we defeated Newcastle, Brentford and Forest in big games. And in today's episode I think we're going to play 3 of the top 3 teams in the Premier League. And Man United historically, Arsenal and Man City, and some of the rest of the games in between. So I want to see how this team performs against some of the bigger teams in the league. And I think after that we'll try and avoid playing the bigger teams, other than like if they're in a cup, etc. We'll play against some of the mid-table teams that we can hopefully beat and hopefully finish at least mid-table or in the lower regions of European football this season. Let's get into this game and hopefully defeat Man United here. Start the episode off in the best way possible. Break down the right instead of down the left, but it's fine. Raheem Sterling here early on, who hits the post. It's a good interception by Henderson, but the smite gone through to Højlund. Still there's only an intercepting it. So it's a ball through there into Højlund early on. Højlund 1-on-1 with Ramsdale, and Ramsdale makes a big save. Ball through here into Oyhansson's set. The Spaniard back here to Ericsson, blocked there by Henderson. It's going to go out and be a corner. Is that offside against Sterling? I believe it might be. It's not so far, but Sterling. It's Aidan Heaven to beat Sterling now inside. The former Man City and Liverpool man. Can he score? He can't. I should say Arsenal and Chelsea in there as well. And Sterling has 2 big chances put wide by him. This one is under pressure though. Fair enough, but I feel like he should have scored. There is Sancho. Good interception from Hume. So Hume's been incredible at right back in the series. And Rig now inside here. Rig. And send it, looking for Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin, the touch there. Why did he turn away from goal? I'm literally aiming towards goal there for the touch, for him to shoot. On the ball there, but doesn't get it. Sunset. Running through here. 1-on-1 with Ramsdale. And Ramsdale with an incredible save, and it falls back to him, and thankfully it goes wide of the post. It's good work there from Rasmus Højlund. It's Højlund running through, shoots. And the referee's given a corner, thankfully. I thought he gave a penalty there for a second. Leon Bailey now. Somehow still going here. Sunset. Inside it to Højlund. Who puts that massively wide of the post. Has been linked to United Arrow. Ends of the fay. In here to Chris Rigg, the young talent. Hits it. And the shot there was left to be desired. I went near post slow driven. It was a very, very comfortable save for Ronaldo to make. Good work there from Jordan Henderson, showing his ability there to intercept the ball. Rigg now. Calvert-Lewin, what was that movement? Here's Sterling. Raheem Sterling, third time maybe this one for him. No, he can't, because Martinez makes a challenge in there. In here to the Fay. Inside it to Sterling. Sterling has room here, 4th time. Maybe the chance for Sterling here, Onana. We have the chances. We just ain't scoring them right now. And get it inside it to the Fay. And the Fay, who is very slow. Back into Sterling. Sterling. Chris Rigg on the turn. Chris Rigg to make it 1-0. And he's done so. We've had the chances. We've been in this game. It's been back and forth for both teams. And in the end, it's Chris Rigg, the young talent, to put us ahead. A player that's been linked to United IRO. A bunch of Premier League clubs want to buy him. But as of right now, he's a Sunderland player. And he will stay a Sunderland player in this series. I want him to be our main player in this team and lift the Champions League at the end of it. And he buries the chance here to make it 1-0. Oh no, not straight from kickoff, man. If this actually happens, it will be so frustrating. Højlund. Easy save there for Ramsdale. Kretschmer, great challenge there from him. And Tarby, great work there from him. And we need to just keep the ball. He's got quite a few United players chasing him down, but we can keep it. Send it forward in here to Jennifer Lange. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Archer, linking up with his former Aston Villa teammate. Plays it inside there to Enzo. Lefehu, why did he not shoot, man? The delay in this game is honestly awful. I can try to get it up and out here. There we go. Elanawi, the Taubi, and that should end it again. There we go. So 1-0 victory over United. We've got to give huge props to Ramsdale and the defence in this game, who did well in the first half to keep them from scoring. As it crushed Rig in the end, being the hero fan in the back of it. I believe that was Sterling with the assist, if I'm not mistaken. With an assist on this debut, I think that was. But Rig gets another big goal for us. We get a big victory at home against United, and we're going to swim a few games in between. Our next game, which I think is up against Man City, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be Arsenal. Not too sure which one's first. Let's first of all look at the stats of the players and how they performed. Performance-wise, Ramsdale, man of the match, is well-deserved. Rig up there, 8.4. A defensive there as well, as you can see, we crushed him over 7.6 on his debut. And stats-wise, we had more possession, less chances, but like I always say, you have to take your chances to win a game, and we managed to do so in the end. And United didn't do so due to some incredible performances from our defence and also Ramsdale in between the sticks. And we managed to remain undefeated. We're beating Burnley here 2-1 at home to get another 3 points. Of Calvert-Lewin scoring both goals in this one here. And back in the Carabao Cup, we again remain undefeated, beating West Ham 2-0 here to remain in the competition and go through to the next round with Sterling and also Rig scoring both goals in this game. And our second team away from home appeared to a big victory against Bournemouth, a 2-1 victory with Elanawi and also Cameron Archer getting goals in this one to see us remain undefeated, surprisingly, in the Premier so far. And our next game is against Arsenal. As you can see, they're currently fourth in the table, 4 points behind us. We're currently still surprisingly top of the table, undefeated, which is insane to say, but they're also undefeated alongside Aston Villa. Everton also undefeated. As you can see, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Man City and Liverpool also undefeated. So as of right now, a few teams are going undefeated in the Prem, but we need to get into this game against Arsenal, away from home at the Emirates, and maybe luck will run out in this one and we end up picking up a loss, but a draw would be amazing, and a win would just be unbelievable against Arsenal here. As Odegaard floats it in, and that's going to be headed goalwards by Havertz, and Ramsdale, the former Arsenal shot stopper, misses him, and Zinchenko puts it wide to the post. But Rice, Odegaard back here to Martinelli, inside here to Havertz. That's a good block there by Krejma, and it's going to roll through to Ramsdale. Zanzalafay. I believe might have been linked to Arsenal at one point. I know Calvert-Lewin might have been as well, as Calvert-Lewin is played through here. As Calvert-Lewin does well here. Calvert-Lewin going all the way. Can he shoot and score? Calvert-Lewin does so. And it's incredible there from him. And he's proven to maybe be able to revive his career here at Sunderland with Cameron Archer behind him, who will most likely overtake him in the future, or maybe someone else could come into the team. But as of right now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, signing technically as a free agent, obviously he's left Everton in real life and will be a free agent IRL, but he signs for us here. And being our new number 9 up front, he holds off Saliba, which is insane to say that he's held off Saliba in this game, because Saliba's like the best defender in this game. And makes it 1-0 here. As we know, Arsenal can score a lot of goals, as we saw against Real Madrid. There's Neil, great defending. Ronaldo. Saka. Krejma, great block there from him, and Ramsdale can get to the loose ball. Neil. Henderson now hits it from Jordan Henderson, forces a good save there out of David Raya. And get Krejma here. I need not commit too much to this challenge. I think it's actually O'Neill. It's actually, oh my god. I swear I switched from O'Neill there. But apparently not, and the challenge happened and he took out Martinelli off the ball, and it's going to be a penalty for them. I did not do that. I can promise you I switched from O'Neill before that challenge happened. As now a penalty, and Saka scores. I thought if I could bait him, he'd go left. But Saka puts him back level, and that is frustrating. I mean, they were about to score. They were going to score anyway, eventually, but concede that is kind of frustrating because I did not give away that penalty myself, to my knowledge, anyway. Oh, lovely ball there, Rig. That's someone gets through to Calvert-Lewin. He can turn, he can shoot, but it's blocked by Ryan. The second attempt he can't get to. I love that from him. Sterling gets through, shoots, but Raya. It's another massive save to keep it level. And we're looking dangerous this season. And the big teams are going to struggle against us as Hume wins the ball back there. We're looking to prove a point and not to take us lightly. Zanzalafay, that's a great ball over the top to Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin, did he make it 2? He hits it straight at Raya. Odegaard can't even find a pass or shoot from range either. So that's good work there from Neil to get the ball off him. Sterling. Ends of the fade out. Back here to Raheem Sterling. He's got Calvert-Lewin in the centre. Got to strike it inside here. Sterling has got a finesse shot tray. He hits it. There's another save there from Raya. They're coming to the attack here. Saka. There's a good interception for Neil. There's a ball in here to Enzo Lefebvre, who's running through the Frenchman. He's scored to make it 2-1. Enzo Lefebvre shoots, but that's his poor finishing on display. That went no way. Now here is El Anawi. And El Anawi here has an opportunity to run all the way through. The Moroccan CDM is going all the way. He shoots and he scores. An instant impact on the bench from El Anawi. And he scores. I might take a number 7 off him and give it to like maybe Sterling or someone like that. And give him a different number, because right now he is number 7. It doesn't really make much sense for him to be the number 7 as a CDM. But he scores here, straight off the bench, goes through the team. I was thinking about playing a pass there, but I kept the ball with El Anawi, and he scores. That's a great goal from him. It's great dribbling, it's a great finish. And it's lovely to see, and it's great to see that off the bench from El Anawi. But now we need to hold into this lead and not give away a stupid penalty like we did last time. I want to concede straight from kickoff, that'd be great. Let's have it. Shoots for some reason on Ramsdale. Comfortable save. Here's Marino. Quaresma, great challenge there. Lovely ball into Archer. Back heel pass there to Jadon. Jadon Phalange hits it, and it's a save by David Raya. Saka. Oh no, Saka's done well. And that's a ball through into Havertz. Havertz, 1-on-1 with Ramsdale. He's hit the bar. He's hit the bar, but he's scored anyway. So of course the ball falls back perfectly to him. I need to see that again. I need to see how fortunate that is for him. He hits the bar in the post. That's what screwed me over there. And it falls directly back to him. Of course it does. And he scores to make it 2-2. That is so frustrating. That's the goal we can see, man. If he scored the first attempt, fair enough. But he also hit the post and the bar. The post and the bar. That'd be great. And after that, the ball just fell directly back to him. And that's the way to score again. Here we go. Gone. Jadon. Just wasn't really much I could do there. It's going to be our first shot points of the season. A draw against Arsenal is not awful, but it's the way we're conceding in this game which doesn't sit right with me. This is Saka. He could win it for them later on here with a ball whipped into the back post. Looking for Martinelli and Ramsdale. It's an unbelievable save. And that's going to be headed away just about. Lovely work there from Archer. Jadon. Go on, Archer. Make the run. Please be onside. Please don't be offside. Cameron Archer. To win is it. And he's done so. The games we're having in this series is unbelievable. The amount of games we've had that I've gotten to the final moment of the game to see us win the game. Obviously against Forest, we had a late goal from Mundell to win us the game. Rig in the previous game to score to give us a victory. And this one, Jadon would, after the counter from the corner, plays it through to Cameron Archer, who's clean through on goal and buries it to get us the 3 points against Arsenal away at home at the Emirates. That's an unbelievable result for us. Part of me cannot believe that we're doing so well in this series right now. We're top of the league on 21 points or 20 points? On 21 points, I think we are. We're just beating Arsenal 3-2 at the Emirates. Our next game is against Man City. So if we win that game, then we could be on for something insane in the series. Obviously, we're keeping pace with them in terms of the games. We're performing well. We deserve the victory. And just what a game that was. However, against Leeds at home, we unfortunately do drop points for our first draw of the series with Sterling getting a late goal here to get us a draw against Leeds. Obviously, another newly promoted team giving us the first big challenge of the series here and getting us a point in this one. And now it's time for our biggest test yet against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Obviously, Sterling used to play for them, so let's get into this game up against them and hopefully just at least stay in this game like we did against Arsenal United. We stayed in the game and in the end managed to get a victory. And if we can't beat Pep Guardiola here, then maybe, just maybe, Sunderland this season could do the impossible and maybe win the league title, because if we continue winning games, then we're going to win the title. But obviously, we expect to finish in maybe the top. I want the top 10, top 8 this season. You know what I mean? Maybe like Conference League football, Europa League football, but maybe we could get Champions League football, which would be insane for us to get. Or it couldn't be. It might not be impossible. Let's get into this game against Man City here and give ourselves a biggest test yet against Pep Guardiola's new look Man City here. Not too far away from me taking over Pep Guardiola's Man City in SC26. There's a ball straight through here, looking for Sterling early on, and Sterling's got past a fullback, and Sterling here. And a return back to the Etihad where he won so many trophies. Does ball here, Sterling. Neil. Into Rick here. Rick. Can he make it 1-0 early on? Straight to Edison over the finish, and Mateus Nunes gets it clear. In them as if they're bottom of the table. We're going at them. We're letting them know that we're not going to be scared of them in this series, and that we can possibly beat them as we have done so far with a couple of big teams. As Enzo Lafay, lovely dribbling here from him. Back in here to Henderson. You can find Sterling. And draw it in here too. Cavani hits it and just drags it far wide of the post though. Through here to Sterling. Sterling up against his former team, but Ruben Diaz, his former teammate, stops him. Not Sterling, Haaland, actually very sorry. Here's Haaland. Here's someone got passes there. Ryan Cherki. Ball forward, and that's offside against Nunes, and that's going to be a poor mistake from them. Here's Ryan Cherki. Oh, great challenge from Ronaldo, but he can't keep it in place somehow there, and they get a throw in. Echeverri back here to Nunes. Ryan Cherki. That's going to be a corner given away there. This is Enzo Lafay running through. Like I said, he doesn't have the best shooting, but he might score here, and that's taken down in the box, so it's not going to be a free kick. A free kick, a penalty. So Ryan Cherki now can counter for them. But Ronaldo stops him. Ronaldo can't win the second ball. It's Ryan Cherki now running down the wing here. Echeverri, it's done well there. Haaland shoots. Ramsdale, good save. Ronaldo, so good count, get the ball there. Last chance of the half here. Echeverri. Shot taken, blocked by Quaresma. That's going to be cleared. Oh, no. Haaland. Nez, great defender from the captain, only in no. Against him again here. Slides in to block the cross, and he does so, and he wins the ball back as well. That from him. Honestly, Hume's been unbelievable in this series, man. Everyone's been great, to be honest. Rig, looking for the favourite, he's not going to get there for the pace, but you might be able to keep it in play. No, he can't. Diaz. Haaland shoots, and Haaland misses. And our player's there to get the ball off them. Sterling looking for Archer, and he does get the ball eventually, but not from the pass, from a rebound. City just squeezing the picture, suffocating us creatively here, as they don't want to lose this game, but they also want to win it. Diarra. Now Sterling. Good move here by him. Ball into the box, they're looking for Archer, who doesn't really have the height. Stones has it clear, but Ronaldo steals it, but it's caught by Mateus Nunes, and that's going to be headed dangerously into a position there for Haaland to shoot by Hume. The pass was meant to go back to Ramsdale, but somehow that almost was much more dangerous than it should have been. So hoping Jennifer Lunge would have made that run in the centre, but he didn't do so. Archer now can draw that across to Sterling, who hits it. Shaden, who hits it. Edison, they do keep it out somehow. Mateus Nunes saves them late on there. We could have just beaten City, but it just didn't trickle over the line. It's a 0-0 draw. It's a massive result for us against City here, to remain somehow undefeated in the Prem. But that was agonisingly close to see us win the game. I think in the end in this game, neither team wanted to lose, so it just kind of became like a very, just nothing game. There wasn't really much for us to do in this one, neither for City. It just kind of became a game that was like, if you have a chance to score, you've got to take it, because there's not going to be many. As you can see, there's only, 6, 7, 8 chances in this game for both teams. We get a point, though. We take it. And it's another victory over Burnley. This time, they'll win a Carabao Cup with El Ainaoui and also Chris Rigg getting goals to see us go through into the next round of the Carabao Cup to keep our Cup's hopes alive in this competition. And at home against Everton, after a late goal from Raheem Sterling, we get a 2-2 draw here, get a point apiece in this one, which we will take against a pretty tough Everton team, we get a point, and we'll take it to remain undefeated in the Prem. And there's another 2-2 draw here against Wolves, with our second team getting the draw here for this one, with Jaden once again scoring in this game, and also Archie getting the other goal to see us get a point against Wolves here, who are bottom of the table, so we should have possibly beaten them. But 2 draws back-to-back is not great. Well, 3 draws back-to-back technically, as we did draw against City, we drew against Everton, and we draw against Wolves here, and we also draw against Leeds as well. So 4 draws in the Prem in succession isn't great, but we still remain in the top 4, which is just unbelievable for us in this series. So it doesn't really matter too much not winning these games here, as long as we don't lose them. Is the biggest thing for us right now. And well, that's going to call it for the end of today's episode. And start this episode off here, we'll take on Liverpool at home. We're currently top of the table ahead of us. Obviously, they have lost the game, but they've drawn a lot less than us, as you can see. With us picking up 4 draws, they got 1 draw to their name. But as of right now, we're looking pretty good in second place, 1 point ahead of Man City. We did draw against, obviously, that in our previous game that we did play. And as of right now, we're looking pretty good. Obviously, I wasn't expecting us to be in the top 4 at this point of the series, but 11 games in, we're in the top 4, which is insane to think about. See, it will possibly fizzle out towards the end of the season. We might possibly drop down maybe to 4th or 5th. I could see that possibly happening because we're going to take on some tough teams. So we'll face Liverpool next episode. We have to face Chelsea, obviously Aston Villa, Forest again, obviously Man City as well, United, etc. We have to face those teams again. Obviously, with our also cup games coming up as well, we want to try and do well in those. Obviously, in the Carabao Cup, obviously in the FA Cup, we're not taking part in that just yet. But in the Carabao Cup, we're into the quarterfinals against Wolves. So we'll sim this one, and we're most likely going to get into the semi-finals of that competition. And I do believe that if you win the Carabao Cup, I think you get Conference League football, if I'm not mistaken, depending on where you finish in the league. I think if you do win the Carabao Cup, you do qualify for Conference League football by winning this trophy. So this could be, a good way for us to get into Europe next season. Obviously, right now we're in Champions League positions, which is insane to think about. After spending all our money on new signings this episode, we're looking pretty good. The team's looking great, and players are performing incredibly well in this team. Like I said, that's going to call it for this one. So go into it, enjoy it. Drop a like and subscribe for more content. And obviously, drop in the comments down below things you want to see for this series, and what your thoughts on the team so far, and what we should do moving forward with the team. And as always, drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.